Let's move over to the NFL. Obviously, Week 17 has come and gone. We have our playoff picture. So I'm going to start with Terzakis on this one. Where do you see an upset happening this weekend?
I see it in Seattle. I like the Rams over the Seahawks. Seattle doesn't have that crazy home field advantage because, there won't be any fans. And, the way the Seahawks have looked recently, they're like, I don't know. Their defense is very subpar. Their offense, it's good. They got a ton of talent on the offensive side, but I haven't liked the way they performed the last few weeks. I really like the Rams defense. Metcalf has been locked up by Ramsey both times they played. So I like the Rams in an upset if I'm picking one.
Does your opinion change if Goff is still out?
It's a good question. I think if Goff's still out, the Seahawks will probably get it done. But I still think, Seattle's going to have a lot of trouble with that the Rams defense for sure.
Sepede?
I think you could look to Tennessee maybe. I think the Ravens are. I think this could be the year you see Lamar Jackson get his first playoff win. And as much as I don't know if it'll happen, I think that's where you have to look if you're going to look for an upset this week because these teams kept it really close when they played this year, and it took a Derrick Henry run in I'm pretty sure OT to win the game. So, I think you could see the Ravens, especially they've looked really good playing football recently. So I think you could look to the Ravens to maybe take down Tennessee.
Well, my upset pick this week would have been Cleveland before Kevin Stefanski had his situation and is not going to be coaching. I can't call a team who doesn't have their head coach on the field for an upset. But I'm going to go with the crazy one here, boys. You ready?
Colts over Bills.
No, I have Washington over Tampa. Here's my thing. If you go back, and this is what I look at with Tampa Bay, look at that Giants game. Because Washington and the Giants play very similar styles of offense. If you watch that game, their defense kept it close the entire game. Washington's is arguably better, and I think can definitely do that against the Bucs. Especially if – I don't know what his deal was. I had to check on that. It still said it was unknown at this time, but Mike Evans sustained some type of injury during that Falcon game. I don't know if he came back out or he was still out for the game. But with him potentially sidelined, that pass rush is insane for the Washington football team. And I still hate saying that team name. God. And with Alex Smith at quarterback, they're not going to turn the ball over a lot. Terry McLaurin's back. I could see a 20-17 upset. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility with that game.
Yeah, I don't think the football team will get it done, but they certainly have a great defense to compete with the Buccaneers. But, all in all, Tampa has looked much better these past few weeks. They've been putting up about 40 points a game. And they're just in my opinion, they're too dangerous to not beat a 7-9 team that barely beat the Eagles, who were literally spoon feeding them the game.
Oh my God, we'll cover that in a minute, but good Lord. I would definitely agree with that. So, getting our upsets out of the way, we have to do it now. Super Bowl predictions. Sapedi, I'm going to start with you. Who do you got going?
So I feel like it's bad luck to ride the hot hand, but in the AFC, I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. That team is white hot. I don't see any team that's able to stop that offense, and the defense is playing good enough that they can win football games. I think you're gonna see Bills choose an AFC championship, and I think the Bills are gonna win. And then in the NFC is tough because I could just go, oh, Packers are the best team. And I think exactly what I'm going to do because when they played the Titans a few weeks back, I thought the Titans were going to come and told him, and I thought they were going to win. And the Packers said, we're actually going to blow them out. So the Packers proved to me that they can beat good teams, and I think they're going to do that in the postseason, and we're going to see Bills-Packers in the Super Bowl.
Sepede, I 100% agree with you. I don't have really much of a retort to that. I 100% agree. I usually go with Super Bowl predictions. I go with the two hottest teams entering the playoffs. And I don't think anyone's hotter than Buffalo right now. But if you had to pick a team, it'd be Green Bay. The only worry I have about Green Bay is the fact that Bakhtiari tore his ACL. That's really the only worry I have. Also, why is David Bakhtiari doing padded practices this late in the season? Can someone answer me that? Why is that happening? What?
I can't.
God, that is just.
Oh yeah.
Why are you even risking that? And the only other team in the NFC, honestly, that I see being the Packers is one of the NFC South teams. However, the Saints tend to shut down on offense come playoff time. And again, with the Bucs potentially missing some guys, I just don't know if the chemistry is going to be there playoff time. But the Bucs would be my, even though they're my favorite team to get upset this week, they would probably be my sleeper to make the Super Bowl. Terzak?
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, in the AFC, I'm gonna go a little different than Sapedi. I think people are riding the Bills high, and rightfully so, because they've looked amazing, especially these past few weeks. They've pretty much dominated all their opponents. But I think people are starting to undermine KC a little bit. I mean, they would have been 15-1 if they played their starters. Let's keep that in mind. You know, the only reason they're 14-2 is because they rested everyone week 17. And, you know, they did play a tight game with the Falcons, but sometimes that happens. And I think the Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC. And I think, you know, the Bills got to beat them in Arrowhead. That's going to be a tough one to do if they get there. So I'm going to go KC repeating as AFC champs. And then in the NFC, I got to go the Pack. Home field goes through Lambeau. That's going to be key with the weather. And, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just the year of Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
As much as I would love to see Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, that would be amazing. But despite that, my issue with the Chiefs is how sloppy they've looked of late. Their biggest enemy is themselves. And they are almost developing a Pittsburgh Steelers level syndrome of playing down to their competition. I don't know what it is, but that's what they've done this year. Mahomes at times just gets like really loose with the football. Like, I think the perfect example is that Miami game. That game had no right to be anywhere near as close as it was. But Mahomes went rogue with the football, basically, and threw about, I think, 3 interceptions in that game?
2.
Something like that? 2?
I believe it was 2.
And just kept gifting other teams chances. And that Falcon game is also a perfect example. The defense finally stepped up for Kansas City, but the offense couldn't get any traction. They threw a pick on a weird, deep Philly special to Patrick Mahomes, which made no sense. And as much as I like Andy Reid, despite the Super Bowl, he does have a history of mismanagement in the playoffs. Go ahead,
That's
Tony.
fair. So who you're going, the Bills?
I'm going with the Bills. I just think they're the hottest team. And, you know, Kansas City just got past them last time. So I would have Buffalo going over. Though it's going to be a shootout, and I could see it honestly going either way. But if I have to pick one, I'd pick Buffalo.